Hello everyone. Let us read about mens rea. Last class में we have seen that offense under BNS could be classified into two. It could be fault और guilt based offense, जिसके लिए actus reus के साथ साथ mens rea should be there, and concurrence of actus reus and mens rea will make the person liable. And another category of offense was strict liability offense, जिसके लिए only actus reus of the person will make that person liable. So this we have seen that offenses under BNS could be classified into fault or guilt based offense, or it is strict liability offense. Fault or guilt based offense को, if I make you understand through mathematical formula, O is the offense and AR is actus reus and MR is mens rea, then the offense will be AR plus MR. And if I make you understand through Venn diagram, suppose this circle in black is the actus reus, that is the physical element for the offense, and the circle in blue is mens rea. Let it be. So Sara portion will not make a person liable. Only this part, that concurrence, जहाँ पे actus reus and mens rea for that respective offense is coinciding, that will make a person liable. So concurrence of this actus reus and mens rea, which is represented in cross in that red color, that will fetch the liability of the person under criminal law. And sometimes they ask in exam also, especially in mains, they used to ask this thing, whether the concurrence of actus reus and mens rea will make a person liable. Answer is yes. If actus has been done और उसके बाद subsequently mens rea has been developed, so that offense will not be made out. So it is this portion in red which makes a person criminally liable, because this is the intersection point which will fetch liability. Yani this is the situation of offense. So fault or guilt based offenses, offense is equals to actus reus plus mens rea, and strict liability offense के लिए it just can be represented by mathematical formula that O is equals to AR, that is actus reus in case of strict liability offense. But none of the place पे term mens rea has been used. Rather, these term and for mens rea under BNS. So let us see what are those terms which infer mens rea under BNS, because none of the place पे term mens rea has been used. Mens rea means a state of mind which is prohibited and punishable by law. दो शब्दों में जिसे हम guilty mind से represent करा सकते हैं. It means what is the guilty mind of the person? That could be represented by following terms. It could be intention, it could be knowledge, it could be reason to believe, it could be dishonestly, it could be voluntarily, it could be fraudulently, it could be negligently, it could be recklessness, it could be wantonly, it could be negligently, etc. So these are the term जो इन्फर करते हैं मेंस रिया अंडर बीएनएस. तो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ दीज टर्म. इसमें से कुछ टर्म डिफाइंड है एंड सम आर अनडिफाइंड. तो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड with the term intention, which is the highest form of mens rea. The term intention has not been defined under the definition clause. What is the definition clause? For BNS, it is section 2 का different clauses up till clause 38. So the intention, which is the highest form of mens rea, has not been defined. Under the भारतीय न्याय संहिता. There is one question, how? हाउ का आंसर हमें बताता है कि इंटेंशन इज देयर और नॉट. हाउ अ पर्सन डज द एक्ट. आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन टेल अस whether intention is there or not. For example, you people have purchased the course from Drishti. You are taking the classes every day. You are jotting down whatever is being taught. आप बेयर एक्ट साइमल्टेनियसली पढ़ रहे हो एंड आफ्टर कवरिंग अ टॉपिक यू आर सॉल्विंग द PYQs और वेयर एवर यू आर स्टकिंग you are asking the coordinator to plan for a Zoom session जहाँ पे you will be clarifying your doubt from the faculty itself. तो ये सारे जो आप काम कर रहे हो, keeping bare act with you, reading the class notes, not only reading the class notes, you solve the PYQs, wherever your mistakes are there, you are working on it, be it learning the section, be it learning the maxim, be it learning the case laws. तो ये सब क्या बता रहा है? यू आर सीरियस टूवर्ड्स क्वालिफाइंग एग्जाम. लेकिन एक बच्चा है जो महीने में एक बार क्लास देख लेता है, व्यू की द टीचर द व्हाट सब्जेक्ट इज बीइंग टॉट, ही हैज नॉट परचेज द बेयर एक्ट, he never asked any doubt regarding to the subject, only under the peer pressure he has taken the course. Is he having any intention to qualify exam? His conduct is showing no. It means he doesn't intend to qualify exam. I used to tell you in the flowchart के form में. I make you understand with example, with illustrations, with case laws, so that it is there in your mind. आपको एग्जाम ना करना पड़े. I'll tell you also कि एग्जाम में पूछा है, this they have asked, how they have asked, that also I'll tell. It means I intend to make you clear the topic, and Drishti has the intention to make your name in the final PDF. Sorry. So कैसे पता चल रहा है कि you people have the intention to qualify exam? How you are doing the act. For example, if I throw chalk towards a person, whether my act of throwing chalk is manifesting my intention to kill him? Answer is no. But if I open fire towards somebody, that shows that I have the intention to kill that person. तो how का answer give us कि intention is there or not. If I make you understand intention to a mathematical formula, तो intention will be desire of the consequence followed by the foresight of the consequence. Desire of the consequence plus foresight of the consequence followed by course of conduct. So intention could be represented by the mathematical formula, which is desire of the consequence, not only the desire of the consequence, that foresight of the consequence, which is being followed by course of conduct. क्योंकि हम इंटेंशन कैसे पता करेंगे? थ्रू कंडक्ट. intention is the highest form of mens rea, and there are many offenses जहाँ पे intention is the form of mens rea. For example, criminal trespass, murder के लिए intention is one of the form of mens rea. For mischief also, intention is one of the form of mens rea. Another kind of mens rea is knowledge. Knowledge means mere awareness about the probable consequence of one conduct. Mere awareness about the probable consequence of one's conduct is the meaning of the term knowledge, which could be a form of mens rea. लेकिन in whole of the BNS you won't be finding any single offense जहाँ पे केवल knowledge as a form of mens rea is there. It is always coupled with some other form of mens rea. Why? Because there is presumption regarding knowledge. Presumption मतलब something which is taken as true without any proof or examination. So what is the presumption about knowledge? That everybody is presumed to be knowing the natural consequence of his act. So knowledge means mere awareness about the consequence, and there is a presumption regarding knowledge कि every person is presumed to be knowing the natural consequence of one's conduct, one's act. तो इसीलिए knowledge is not alone as the form of mens rea. It is always coupled with some other form of mens rea. For example, murder के लिए intention as well as knowledge is one of the form of mens rea. If you see the offense of mischief, along with knowledge, intention is also there. It could be even the reason to believe. Knowledge has also not been defined. ना intention defined है in BNS, ना ही knowledge. Another form of mens rea is reason to believe. Reason to believe has been defined under the BNS under section 2 clause 29 of the BNS, and reason to believe means sufficient cause to believe that thing. ये होगा कब? Reason to believe as the form of mens rea. For example, if suppose you go in a jungle for hunting, you have not seen any human being, ना ही आपने किसी human being की कोई आवाज सुनी है, but you find certain belongings of the human being. Water bottle is there, chips का packet is there, mask is lying there, handbag is there, sleeper is there. तो आप श्योर नहीं हो about the presence of human being, but the circumstances are such कि you could reasonably infer कि there might be some human being. तो वही situation होती है reason to believe की, when a person has sufficient cause to believe that thing. So reason to believe is another form of mens rea which has been defined under 2 clause 29 of the BNS. Reason to believe means sufficient cause to believe that thing. Sometime in your exam, especially in prelims, they ask you to arrange in the chronological order depending on the from higher to lowest form of mens rea. So it could be intention, which is the highest form of mens rea. Then comes the knowledge, and then comes the reason to believe. Now let us see another form of mens rea, which is voluntarily. The term voluntarily has also been defined, which is another form of mens rea, and it has been defined under section 2 subsection 33 of the BNS. It says that whenever any act is done either with the intention or with the knowledge or with the reason to believe, then such act is said to be done voluntarily. Either with intention or with knowledge or with reason to believe, then such act is said to be done voluntarily. Let us understand with the help of illustrations. Illustrations are very important. You have to cover every illustrations of the Bare Act. There could be direct question. दो पॉसिबिलिटी, एक तो डिटो फैक्ट दे दे एज गिवन इन द इलस्ट्रेशन या थोड़ा सा मॉडिफिकेशन करके. इसीलिए यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट कि अगर चेंज भी सिचुएशन में दे आज द इलस्ट्रेशन, यू विल बी इन पोजिशन टू आंसर दैट. और मेंस में यू विल बी कोटिंग सच इलस्ट्रेशंस दैट कैन फेच यू half to 1 extra marks for every question. Let us understand this with the help of example. Suppose there is a person A and he wants to commit robbery in B's house. Suppose this is B's house and A intend to commit, is the accused, he intend to commit robbery, and in order to facilitate this robbery, what he did, he has put this house of B into fire. और होता क्या है, there was an inmate, let it be Z, that dies. और जब A को पता चलता, he is very sorry about killing of Z because he didn't intend to kill somebody. क्योंकि अगर intention होगा तो person will be doing such act जहां पर that desired consequence is sure because intention is the highest form of mens rea. तो अगर घर में आग लगा रहा है तो देयर कुड पॉसिबिलिटी ना, कोई नहीं भी हो सकता है, या फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर काम कर जाए या फायर ब्रिगेड आकर इंसान को बचा ले जाए. देयर कुड बी अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि दैट पर्सन कुड बी सेव्ड. तो यहाँ पर दैट इंटेंशन इज नॉट देयर, बट नॉलेज तो होगा ना दैट इफ यू आर पुटिंग फायर इन अ डवेलिंग हाउस, तो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि anybody could be inside that house. तो आपसे एग्जाम में पूछते हैं how that A has caused death, is it intentionally or voluntarily? It is voluntarily. So A has caused B's death voluntarily. So this was section 2 clause 33, which defines the term voluntarily. Section 2 clause 33, voluntarily, a person is said to cause an effect voluntarily when he causes it by means whereby he intended to cause it, or by means which at the time of employing those means he knew or had reason to believe to be likely to cause it. Let me tell you the illustration which I have explained you. A sets fire by night to an inhabited house in a large town for the purpose of facilitating a robbery and thus causes the death of a person. Here, A may not have intended to cause death and may even be sorry that death has been caused by his act, yet if he know that he was likely to cause death, he has caused the death voluntarily. Now let us understand another form of mens rea, that is negligence. Term negligence has not been defined under BNS. It is negative state of mind. तो negligence is that situation जहां पे person has acted inadvertently. It means it is such situation जहां पर accused acted without bothering about the consequence, because this is negative state of mind. So here accused acted without bothering about consequences of his act. Let me explain you through the example. Suppose there is a person X and he took his bike without ensuring कि brakes are functional or not. He took his bike to such road जहां पर there is construction going on. So without ensuring कि people are allowed on that road or not, he proceed with his bike. That is the case of negligence. तो negligence का केस तो आप बहुत बार सुने होंगे, और negligence by registered medical practitioner is also there. For example, if a doctor is there and he has done cataract surgery of a woman and his OT was having fungal infection जो कि patient को नहीं बताया गया, and because of that person has lost the eyes, and for 4 months minimum 15 surgery was done in the eye and every day injection was put, and now the condition is so critical that person is not able to move. Is it the case of negligence done by the doctor? Yes. If you have fungal infection in your OT, you could have closed the OT for patients, क्योंकि patient को तो नहीं पता होगा ना कि your instrument is carrying infection. And this example is the real example which I have quoted you. So negligence is also the form of mens rea, and many times you find medical negligence का case. So negligence is such a state of mind जहाँ पर accused bother ही नहीं करता है about the consequence. For example, he took his bike without ensuring that the brakes are functional or not. It could be the mens rea of dishonest intention. For example, offense of theft, offense of extortion has dishonest intention or dishonestly, both is same. So now let us understand what is dishonest intention, जिसे हम dishonestly भी कह सकते हैं, both are same. So dishonest intention or acting dishonestly is another form of mens rea, and it has been defined under 2 clause 7 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. If any act is done with the intention of either causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person, then it is said to be done with dishonest intention. और है यानी ऐसा act which is done with the intention to cause wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person. Let me explain you through flowchart के form में. Dishonest intention has been defined under 2 clause 7 of the BNS. It says that if any act is done with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person, with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person, or with the intention of causing wrongful loss to another, और है, it is not the and flow chart में जो arrows होता है in my class that stand for or, जहाँ पे and होगा I'll be writing plus का sign और I'll be mentioning the and. So it is either the intention to cause wrongful gain to one person or it is the intention of causing wrongful loss to another person. तो इसका मतलब dishonest intention को समझने के लिए as defined in 2 clause 7 of the BNS, we need to understand this honest intention को समझने के लिए we need to understand what is wrongful gain and what is wrongful loss. Section 2 clause 7, dishonestly means doing anything with the intention of causing wrongful gain to one person or wrongful loss to another person. So let us understand what is wrongful gain and wrongful loss. Wrongful gain has been defined under 2 clause 36 of the BNS and wrongful loss has been provided under 2 clause 37 of the BNS. So 2 clause 38 तक we have the item. 2 clause 39 perimeteria clause है और सारे definition के clause will be covering after completing this mens rea वाला portion. So wrongful gain has been provided, has been defined under 2 clause 36 of the BNS and wrongful loss has been provided from 2 clause, it has been provided in 2 clause 37 of the BNS. और जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं basic information and from definition clause, minimum at least you can get one question. I am saying at least. तो एक तो आना ही आना है in your prelims. It could be more than one also because that is a key area जहाँ से question draft होते ही होते हैं in prelims exam. So let us see what is wrongful gain. As defined under section 2 clause 36, wrongful gain है, इसका मतलब gain हो रहा होगा किसका? It is the gain of property. As the word wrongful has been used, तो ये जो gain हो रहा है वो unlawfully हो रहा है. By unlawful means and the person gaining, जिसे gain हो रहा है वो legally entitled नहीं है उसके लिए, तभी तो उसको wrongful gain हुआ. It means it is the gain of property which is by unlawful means and the person gaining is not legally entitled for it. Is not entitled for it. So wrongful gain has been provided in 2 clause 36. It is the gain of property which is by unlawful means. The person gaining is not legally entitled for it. For example, thief who has stolen the property, to him wrongful gain is there क्योंकि जो प्रॉपर्टी उसने चुराई है उसके लिए he is not legally entitled and that he has done by unlawful means. And in Chhattisgarh का exam which was there this year only, they have asked this. So in different states में जहाँ पे they have asked especially, I'll tell you so that it is there in your mind कि यहाँ से सवाल बन सकता है in your exam also. Section 2 clause 36, wrongful gain means gain by unlawful means of property to which the person gaining is not legally entitled. इसका just उल्टा है wrongful loss. Wrongful loss has been defined under section 2 clause 37. It is the loss of property. Again the word wrongful has been used. It means कि वो जो loss हो रहा है property का that is by unlawful means. और जो person lose कर रहा है he is legally entitled for that property, तभी तो उसको wrongful loss हुआ. And the person losing is legally entitled for it. So this is the meaning of the term wrongful loss, which has been defined under 2 clause 37 of the BNS. लॉस है प्रॉपर्टी का बाय अनलॉफुल मीन्स जिस इंसान को लॉस हो रहा है ही इज लीगली इंटाइटल्ड फॉर इट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ओनर whose property has been stolen, to such owner wrongful loss is there. So section 2 clause 37 wrongful loss means the loss by unlawful means of property to which the person losing is legally entitled. So any person with the intention of causing wrongful gain of property by unlawful means, to such person gaining property who is not legally entitled, or with the intention wrongful loss is caused to another person, it means it is the loss of property to such person who is legally entitled for such property, and that to be by unlawful means that loss has been caused to that person. तो intentionally wrongful gain to one person किया गया है या wrongful loss to another, it is the case of dishonest intention or dishonestly as a form of mens rea. So we have understood dishonest intention also. Now let us understand another form of mens rea, that is fraudulently. For example, cheating का offense में fraudulent intention is there. So what is fraudulently as a form of mens rea? Term fraudulently has been defined under 2 clause 9 of the BNS, and it says that any act which is done with intention to defraud is said to be done fraudulently. Any act which is done with intention to defraud, any act which is done with intention to defraud is said to be done fraudulently. It means intention to deceive is there in fraudulent intention. Fraudulently को हम fraudulent intention भी बोल सकते हैं. And they ask you कि क्या deceit included होता है in fraudulent intention and fraudulently? Answer is yes. If I make you understand fraudulently through a mathematical formula, तो fraudulently या fraudulent intention will be misrepresentation plus intention to deceive. डिसीव करना मतलब किसी झूठ बात को सच बताना. So fraudulently could be represented by this mathematical formula, that is misrepresentation plus intention to deceive. And as per section 2 clause 9 of the BNS, where the term fraudulently has been defined, so any act is done with intention to defraud is said to be done fraudulently. It means deceit is included in fraudulent intention. Section 2 clause 9. Fraudulently means doing anything with the intention to defraud but not otherwise. Let us see another form of mens rea, which is recklessness. तो recklessness का meaning हमारे इंडिया में it is something different, and English law में we take it in different respect. So let us understand another form of mens rea, that is recklessness. So this will be understanding with respect to Indian law as well as with respect to English law, क्योंकि जहाँ पर difference होता है we need to read it, क्योंकि वो की एरिया हो सकता है आपके एग्जाम का. इन प्रीलिम्स ऑल्सो और मेंस में आप हाईलाइट करके आओगे, सो दैट द एग्जामिनर गेट द इम्प्रेशन की you know the difference in Indian law and English law on that point. In Indian law, recklessness means doing any act knowing that that act is risky. ये जानते हुए कि act risky है, if a still accused does that act or behind doing such act there is no justification. तो अक्यूज अगर जानता है कि जो काम कर रहा है वो रिस्की है और उसको करने के पीछे अगर कोई जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं है, देन इट इज सेड दैट देयर इज रेकलेसनेस एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ मेंसरिया ऑन हिज पार्ट. तो एक्यूज इफ ही नोज दैट द एक्ट इज रिस्की, फिर भी वो करता है ये जानते हुए कि एक्ट रिस्की है और उसको करने के पीछे देयर इज नो जस्टिफिकेशन, it is said that it is recklessness as a part of menstruation on his part. For example, if a person C took his bike knowing the fact कि brakes are non-functional, ये जानते हुए कि उसके बाइक के ब्रेक्स काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, he took his bike, it is recklessness as a form of menstruation. अगर जस्टिफिकेशन होगा it will not be the recklessness का केस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर उसके नेबर को हार्ट अटैक आया है और एम्बुलेंस टाइम पे नहीं पहुंच रही है, देयर इज नोबडी एल्स, एंड इन दैट बाइक जिसके ब्रेक्स नॉन फंक्शनल है, ही टुक दैट पेशेंट टू द हॉस्पिटल एंड इन द रोड ही हिट अ पर्सन, तब क्या बोलेंगे? ही इज हैविंग रेकलेसनेस एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ मेंसरिया? आंसर इज नो, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जस्टिफिकेशन इज देयर. तो दिस वाज रिगार्डिंग इंडियन लॉ. इंग्लिश लॉ में we see recklessness in two respects. It is Cunningham recklessness and Cardwell recklessness. Cunningham recklessness is also known as subjective recklessness. Another is Cardwell recklessness. Which is also known as objective recklessness. Cunningham recklessness was laid down in the case of R versus Cunningham. And Cardwell recklessness was laid down in R versus Cardwell. Or later on, Law Commission in England has approved Cunningham recklessness. And there was a case of R versus G जहां पर Cunningham recklessness को अप्रूव किया गया है. So let us see what is Cunningham recklessness and what is Cardwell recklessness in English law. According to Cunningham recklessness, जिसे हम subjective recklessness भी बोलते हैं, a person is said to be doing any act with recklessness as a state of mind if he knows that the act is risky and if he does it. तो अगर accused के पार्ट पे नॉलेज है, नॉलेज ऑफ व्हाट, दैट द एक्ट विच ही इज डूइंग इज रिस्की एंड स्टिल ही डज इट, तो हम कहेंगे इट इज रेकलेसनेस इज देयर एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ मेंसरिया ऑन हिज पार्ट. यानी यहाँ पर हम जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं देखेंगे, बस ये देखेंगे कि एक्यूज को नॉलेज है या नहीं है रिगार्डिंग दैट कि दैट एक्ट विच ही इज डूइंग इज रिस्की. इफ ही हैज द नॉलेज, देन इन दैट केस he will be made liable to recklessness as a form of mens rea. In R versus Cunningham, what happened that there was a person, he want to gift something to his girlfriend and he was not having money, so he thought that he will be stealing gas meter. लेकिन as he was not the professional thief, तो गैस मीटर को तो उसने चुरा लिया लेकिन वो एरिया को ब्लॉक नहीं कर पाया जिससे कि गैस जो है वो निकल रही थी, एंड अल्टीमेटली इट वाज इनहेल्ड बाय द गर्ल्स मदर, और गर्ल्स मदर हैज इनहेल्ड टू सच एक्सटेंट दैट इट बिकम फैटल फॉर हर. तो सवाल ये है कि क्या हम एक्यूज को लायबल ठहराएं being recklessness as a form of mens rea on his part. तो कोर्ट ने ये देखा कि क्या एक्यूज के पार्ट पे ये अवेयरनेस है कि ही हैज द नॉलेज कि गैस इस एक्सटेंट पे बाहर निकल कर आ जाएगी दैट इट विल बी inhaled in such extent to a person by a person so as to endangered his life. तो क्या he has such knowledge कि gas will come out to such an extent so that it will be inhaled by a person and that will endanger his life? Answer is no. So that's why the accused was not made liable on the basis of recklessness as a form of mens rea in R versus Cunningham के केस में. R versus Cardwell में क्या हुआ था? There was a accused who in the state of intoxication has put a hotel on fire. आग लगा दी थी एक होटल में, इसके सारे फर्नीचर्स वगैरह डैमेज हो गए. तो कोर्ट ने रेकलेसनेस को डिफाइन किया कि इफ एक्यूज could have halted and has applied his mind, मतलब एक्यूज अगर रुकता, if he could have stopped and has applied his mind, then he could have very easily come to the point that the act is risky. If he has not done so, he will be taking to be acting with recklessness as a form of mens rea. यानी यहाँ पर कोर्ट कह रही है कि एक्यूज को रुकना है उस सिचुएशन में वेयर ही इज एंड ही हैज टू अप्लाई हिज माइंड, एंड बाय द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ हिज माइंड इफ ही फाइंड दैट द एक्ट इज रिस्की still he does it. It is the case of recklessness as a form of mens rea. But इतना ही अगर माइंड होता या लगाने की स्थिति में होता इंसान तो वो ऑफेंस ही क्यों करता? तो दिस इज अनजस्ट रूल. इसीलिए अल्टीमेटली जाकर लॉ कमीशन ने इंग्लैंड में एंड इवन इन द केस ऑफ आर वर्सेस जी इन 2005 दी कनिंघम रेकलेसनेस वाज अप्रूव्ड. तो हमारे यहाँ क्या है इन इंडिया, वी ओनली सी दी नॉलेज ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द एक्यूज कि क्या नॉलेज है कि वॉट एवर ही इज डूइंग इज रिस्की and what he is doing is without any justification, then only he'll be said to be acting with recklessness as a form of mens rea. Whereas English law में क्या देखेंगे, it is mere awareness about the act की that is risky. यहाँ पे justification हम नहीं देखते हैं. तो this is the difference in Indian law and English law regarding recklessness as a form of mens rea. It could be even wantonly as a form of mens rea, which is there under section 192 of the BNS, wantonly giving provocation with intent to cause, right? So let us understand what is this wantonly. If any act is done either with recklessness or with mischief, or with malignantly, or with all, then it is said that act is done as wantonly as the form of mens rea. So we have understood the meaning of different terms जो हमें infer कराते हैं mens rea. It could be intention which is undefined, but this is the highest form of mens rea. How का question tell us intention is there or not? It could be represented by the mathematical formula. Intention is equal to desire of the consequence plus the foresight of the consequence followed by course of conduct. It could be knowledge, which means mere awareness of the probable consequence of one's act. There is presumption regarding knowledge. इसीलिए there is none of the offense which is there जिसमें केवल knowledge as a form of mens rea है, because every person is presumed to be knowing the natural consequence of his own conduct. Reason to believe has been defined in 2 clause 29, which means sufficient cause to believe that thing. और ये reason to believe उन situation में होगा जहाँ पे accused is not sure. This is accused. Accused is not sure about the presence of subject matter in the line of action. It could be voluntarily, as defined in 2 clause 33 of the BNS. Any act is said to be done voluntarily if that is done with the intention of doing that, or with the knowledge of doing that, or with the reason to believe. So when, in order to facilitate robbery, A has put fire to B's house and somebody inside that jet, an inmate dies, so he'll be liable for causing the death voluntarily in that situation. It could be negligence as the state of mind, which is undefined. It is negative state of mind जहाँ पे accused have acted inadvertently. It means accused acted without bothering about the consequence of his act. If X took his bike without ensuring that the brakes are functional or not, without ensuring कि जिस रोड पे जा रहा है that is operational or not, पहाड़ी एरिया पे चल दिया है यार, without ensuring कि वो सड़क पे people are allowed or not, it is the case of negligence on his part. It could be dishonest intention or dishonestly, as defined in 2 clause 7 of the BNS. Any act which is done with the intention of causing either wrongful gain to one person, as defined in 2 clause 36 of the BNS, or with the intention of causing wrongful loss to another person, as defined in 2 clause 37, it is said to be done dishonestly. Or it could be, and what is wrongful gain and wrongful loss? Wrongful gain has been provided in 2 clause 36. It is the gain of property by unlawful means and the person gaining is not legally entitled for it. For example, thief who has stolen the property, उसे wrongful gain हुआ है. Or wrongful loss has been provided in 2 clause 37 of the act, which is the loss of property by unlawful means. Person losing is not legally entitled. It could be the owner whose property has been stolen, to whom the wrongful loss is there. Or it could be the fraudulently as a form of mens rea, which has been defined under 2 clause 9. Fraudulently means any act which is done with the intention to defraud. It means there is intention to deceive in that. Deceit हमेशा included होता है fraudulently का. Fraudulently can be represented by a mathematical formula. It is misrepresentation plus intention to deceive. It could be recklessness as a form of mens rea. In Indian law, recklessness means accused have the knowledge that whatever act he is doing is risky, still he does it, और उस काम को करने के पीछे if there is no justification, it is recklessness as a form of mens rea on his part. For example, X took his bike knowing the fact that the brakes of his bikes are non-functional. In English law, it could be classified into Cunningham recklessness, जिसे हम subjective recklessness भी बोलते हैं, as laid down in the case of R versus Cunningham. Or it could be Cardwell recklessness, जिसे हम objective recklessness भी बोल सकते हैं, which was laid down in R versus Cardwell का case. Cunningham recklessness means if there is awareness on the part of accused that the act which is doing is risky, it is recklessness as a form of mens rea on his part. In Cardwell recklessness, that person has to apply his mind. If he applies his mind by halting in that situation, then he could infer that the act is risky. If that is the case, it is recklessness. But this appears unjust situation, unjust rule. इसलिए ultimately law commission in England has approved Cunningham recklessness. which was reconfirmed in R versus G case. It could be even wantonly as the form of mens rea. Any act is said to be done with recklessness, or it is said to be done with mischief, or if it is said to be done negligently, or with all these, then it is said to be done wantonly. For example, wantonly, if a person is there and he is giving provocation with intent to cause riot as provided under section 192 of the BNS. So with this, I believe mens rea का concept is clear, and we know that to make a person criminal liable as per the maxim actus non facit reum nisi mens rea, जिसका एक इन्फ्रेंस ये भी है कि कंकरेंस होना चाहिए of actus reus and mens rea that will make the person liable. इट इज नॉट दैट कि पर्सन ने जब मूव कर लिया मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी को और उसके बाद उसने देखा कि मैम की तो बेयर एक्ट में सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है, आई शुड स्टील इट एट द टाइम ऑफ मूविंग. सपोज पोडियम पे माई बेयर एक्ट इज केप्ट एंड इट इज अबाउट टू फॉल. एक बच्चा उठता है और उसे मूव करता है विद द इंटेंशन कि अगर नीचे गिरेगा तो डस्ट इज देयर, खराब हो जाएगी बेयर एक्ट, इन ऑर्डर टू सेव इट. लेकिन बाद में जब वो मूव कर रहा होता तो उस प्रोसेस में देख लेता है कि एवरीथिंग इज रिटन इन द बेयर एक्ट. कीवर्ड्स आर हाईलाइटेड, केस लॉज आर रिटन, मैक्सिम्स आर रिटन, इंटरलिंकिंग ऑफ लॉज, कौन कौन से लॉस कनेक्टेड है वो भी सेक्शन नंबर कोटेड है. तो ही डेवलप डिसऑनेस्ट इंटेंशन टू कॉज रॉन्गफुल लॉस टू मी. तब क्या चोरी होगी? नो, एट द टाइम ऑफ फर्स्ट मूविंग. जिस वक्त एक्टस रियस हुआ है दैट इज द मूविंग द मूल प्रॉपर्टी, उस वक्त मेंस रिया होना चाहिए फॉर द ऑफेंस ऑफ थेफ्ट विच इज डिसऑनेस्ट इंटेंशन विच इज नॉट देयर एट द फर्स्ट मूविंग. So concurrence of actus reus and mens rea will make a person criminally liable. So with this we are done with the concept of mens rea. Now let us cover other items of the definition clause. As I told you, और हम देख भी रहे हैं कि section 2 is about the definition clauses under different clauses में. तो whatever we have done that will obviously will not be doing it. अब कर लेते हैं वो सारे items which are not given here. For example, if you see before going to this definition clause, one subsection 6 was left जो कहता है कि it is saving special law or local law relating to mutiny or desertion of officers, sailors, airmen who are being employed in any armed service in the service of government of India. So it is about saving local law or special law. So section 1 up till subsection 5 we have completed. One subsection 6 is about saving clause. हरियाणा में यहाँ से सवाल आया था. It saves the special law or local law relating to mutiny or desertion of officer, sailor, airman. इसका मतलब स्पेशल लॉ और लोकल लॉ भी चलेगा along with BNS. So what we understand with the term special law and local law? Let us understand that. A special law has been defined under section 2 clause 30 of the BNS. A special law means law which is applicable to particular subject. For example, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, NDPS Act, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, or it is POXO, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, or it is Domestic Violence Act. तो ऐसा लॉ जो स्पेशल पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट से डील करता है उसे हम स्पेशल लॉ बोलते हैं एज डिफाइंड अंडर 2 clause 30 of the BNS. Special law means a law applicable to a particular subject. Another term which they have used is local law. Local law means law which is applicable to particular locality. For example, यूपी के स्टेट में we have यूपी रेवेन्यू कोड, दिल्ली में वी हैव दिल्ली रेंट कंट्रोल एक्ट, राजस्थान में राजस्थान रेंट कंट्रोल एक्ट इज देयर, एमपी का रेवेन्यू कोड इज देयर. ये सब क्या हो गए? लोकल लॉ. So local law has been defined under section 2 clause 18 of the BNS. It means such law which is applicable to particular locality. For example, UP Revenue Code of 2006, Section 2, Clause 18. Local law means a law applicable only to particular parts of India. Now, let us see what we understand with the term act. क्योंकि बहुत सारे प्रोविजन में देखोगे कि when death is caused by an act, तो इस एक्ट का मतलब क्या है? क्या वो सिंगल एक्ट होगा या सीरीज ऑफ एक्ट? इट कुड बी बोथ. So section 2 clause 1 says that it could be single act or it could be series of act which will constitute as a single act. For example, A has opened fire on B. एक ही शॉट मारा towards his heart. It is an example of act. और A ने माउजर लिया और सारी गोलियां उतार दी in B. It is series of act which is taken as a single act that has been so provided in 2 clause 1. It could be single act or series of act which constitute the single act. Section 2 clause 1. Act denotes as well series of act as a single act. तो act है तो omission भी समझ लेते हैं, क्योंकि act include omission and that to be only illegal omission. तो पहले क्या omission के लिए भी same thing will be there कि it could be single omission or series of omission? Answer is yes, and that has been so provided in 2 clause 25 of the BNS, जो कि कहता है कि it could be single omission or series of omission. For example, there is a husband X, जो सबसे hottest day था of the year, बहुत गर्मी थी उस दिन, let it be in the northern part of India, that was reported to be the hottest day of the year. उस दिन वाइफ को खाना नहीं देता है, पानी नहीं देता है, and she dies. It is the single omission का conduct. और every day he omits to give food, so it is a series of omission. So it could be single omission or series of omission. As a single omission. और जहां जहां, and this has been provided under 2 clause 25 of the BNS में. Omission denotes as well as a series of omission as a single omission, and in every act illegal omission is there. तो हर omission liability नहीं ठहराता है under criminal law, and this example they ask you in your exam. बिहार APO में पूछा हुआ है कि suppose there is a person who is drowning, let it be A who is drowning, and he is shouting, save me, save me, बचाओ बचाओ. And there is person B who is a very good swimmer, but he did not save A, और A की अल्टीमेटली डेथ हो जाती है बाय ड्रॉनिंग. सवाल ये है कि क्या हम B को लायबल ठहराएं फॉर कॉजिंग मर्डर ऑफ A, फॉर कॉजिंग डेथ ऑफ A? आंसर इज नो, क्योंकि यहाँ पर it is just the omission on the part of B not to save A, and every omission will not make a person liable under criminal law. It is only the illegal omission which makes the person liable under criminal law. लेकिन अगर ये जो गुड स्विमर है, सपोज ही इज एक्टिंग एज अ लाइफ सेवर, तब इट विल बी हिज लीगल ड्यूटी. तो कहाँ लिखा है कि एक्ट इंक्लूड इलीगल ओमिशन? इट इज रिटन इन सेक्शन 3 सबसेक्शन 4 of the BNS. Section 3 is about general explanation. Subsection 4, in every part of this Samhita, words which refer to acts done extend also to illegal omission, or there is a way of reading the bare act, and whatever law you are reading, if it is codified law, तो आपको केवल बेयर एक्ट पे ही कमांड करना होता है फॉर एनी स्टेज ऑफ एग्जाम. लेकिन बेयर एक्ट पढ़ने का एक तरीका होता है. मार्केट में मिथ इज देयर कि इट इज टू टफ और हमसे ना हो पाएगा. तो पहला तरीका ये है कि यू हैव टू गो वेरी स्लो व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग द बेयर एक्ट. दूसरा है कि यू हैव टू टेक नोट ऑफ द वर्ड्स विच आर यूज्ड, क्योंकि हर वर्ड्स का कुछ मतलब है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मीन्स जहाँ लिखा है डॉक्यूमेंट मीन्स, इसका मतलब दैट पार्ट ऑफ द डेफिनेशन इज एग्जॉस्टिव. इंक्लूड्स है तो इट इज इंक्लूसिव इन नेचर. नॉट विद स्टैंडिंग इट इज नॉट ऑब्स्टेंट क्लॉज. ऐसे ही कुछ वर्ड्स होते हैं जो हमें एक्सेप्शन टू द सेक्शन बताते हैं. एक्सेप्शन टू द सेक्शन बाद में पढ़ेंगे, पहले हम रूल पढ़ते हैं फिर एक्सेप्शन पढ़ते हैं. तो जहां पर भी एक्सेप्ट लिखा हो दैट विल बी रीडिंग एट द लास्ट, क्योंकि नाउ डेज इन इंटरव्यू स्पेशली इन MP फॉर द लास्ट 3 टाइम दे आर आस्किंग एस्पिरेंट्स टू रीड द बेयर एक्ट, क्योंकि द वे यू रीड द बेयर एक्ट गिव द इंप्रेशन कि आप फर्स्ट टाइम रीडर हो या यू आर अ हैबिचुअल रीडर ऑफ दैट. तो इसलिए व्हेन आई हैव रेड 3 सबसेक्शन 4, तो between 2 commas I have not read, क्योंकि between 2 commas we don't have to read at the first go. It either contains the exception to the main rule or it contains the other law. उसको बाद में पढ़ते हैं. तो way of reading 3 subsection 4 is, in every part of the Samhita, words which refer to acts done extend also to illegal omissions except where a contrary intention appear from the context. So it is not the every omission. For example, if a beggar is there and beggar is asking for alms and there is a person A जिससे वो कहता है कि आप खाना दे दो because I am hungry from last many days, but that person did not give any food to that beggar and that beggar ultimately dies. तो क्या कोई liability होगी of that person who was having sufficient food when he did not provide food and because of that person dies? Answer is no. It is only the illegal omission which make the person liable. ये कहाँ लिखा है? In 2 clause 15. तो पहले तो आप ये समझो कि जहां जहां एक्ट होगा in BNS that will include illegal omission also. That has been provided in section 3 subsection 4. It is not the every omission which will make a person liable, it is only the illegal omission. तो illegal omission है क्या? That has been so provided under section 2 clause 15. 2 clause 15 में term illegal has been defined और साथ साथ में legally bound to do. और यही सेक्शन हमें बताता है कि इट इज इलीगल ओमिशन. सेक्शन 2 का क्लॉज 15 हमें बताता है कि इट इज इलीगल ओमिशन विच विल मेक अ पर्सन लायबल. तो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन दिस टर्म. इलीगल पहले समझाती हूँ. व्हाट इज इलीगल? If something is an offense, it could be taken as illegal, or if something is prohibited by law. Offense का मतलब कल देखा था 2 clause 24 में, thing which are punishable under this संहिता. तो ठग जो नहीं punishable है, sedition जो नहीं punishable है BNS में, that will not be taken as the offense. So it could be offense or it could be such thing which is prohibited by law. or such thing which furnishes a ground for civil action. जिसे हम सिविल रॉन्ग भी बोलेंगे. तो इलीगल में 3 थिंग्स यूज टू कम. ऑफेंस हो सकता है, इट मीन समथिंग विच इज पनिशेबल अंडर भारतीय न्याय संहिता, और इट कुड बी प्रोहिबिटेड बाय लॉ, यानी कोई और लॉ उसको मना करता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल गिविंग एंड टेकिंग ब्राइबरी, और इट कुड बी समथिंग विच गिव्स अ ग्राउंड फॉर सिविल एक्शन. सिविल एक्शन हम किन केस में लेंगे? सिविल रॉन्ग में. इट मीन्स इट कुड बी अ केस ऑफ ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. लीगली बाउंड टू डू मीन्स if that person omits to do that thing, then it will be illegal in him. Then it will be illegal in him to omit such thing. It means if there is some legal duty on the part of the person, not the mere moral duty, social duty, religious duty, legal duty. If there is any legal duty and there is breach of such legal duty, it means there is an omission of such legal duty. Then it will be taken as illegal omission. तो illegal omission मतलब उस काम को करने के लिए there is a legal duty casted on that person and that has been omitted. That will be called as illegal omission. And it is the illegal omission which will make the person liable as per 2 clause 15 of BNS. 2 clause 15, illegal and legally bound to do. The word illegal is applicable to everything which is an offense or which is prohibited by law or which furnishes ground for civil action, and a person is said to be legally bound to do whatever it is illegal in him to omit. So we have understood the term illegal as well as what is legally bound to do, and we have seen कि कौन सा सेक्शन है जो हमें बताता है कि it is the only illegal omission which will make a person liable. Now let us see section 2 clause 2 जो कि हमें डिफाइन करता है टर्म एनिमल, क्योंकि एनिमल की चोरी भी चोरी होगी फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ ऑफ. तो एनिमल मीन्स इट इज अ लिविंग क्रिएचर अदर देन अ ह्यूमन बीइंग. तो टर्म एनिमल has been defined under section 2 clause 2, which means any living creature other than human being. This is minus. Animal, section 2 clause 2, animal means any living creature other than a human being. Term child has been introduced for the first time. Correspondingly, old law IPC does not define the term child. तो देख लेते हैं who is taken as the child, क्योंकि nothing is an offense which is done by a child. तो child term has been defined under section 2 clause 3 of the BNS. It means such person who has not attained एटीन ईयर्स. इट मीन्स 18 साल से कम का इंसान को हम क्या लेंगे? चाइल्ड लेंगे. टू clause 3, child means a person below the age of 18 years. Let us see what is counterfeit. Counterfeiting coin or currency is the offense. So 2 clause 4 defines the term counterfeit. When any person causes one thing to resemble the another and behind that sorry, he has the intention or knowledge to practice deception, then it is said that he has counterfeit. a person is said to be counterfeit when he causes one thing to resemble another, and he either had the intention or knowledge to practice deception, then it is said that he has counterfeit. ये जरूरी नहीं है कि imitation exact हो, as provided in explanation 1. Imitation need not to be exact. Explanation 2 ये कहता है कि जब एक इंसान कॉज करेगा वन थिंग टू रिजेंबल अनदर, तो कोर्ट शैल प्रिज्यूम कर लेगी. शैल प्रिज्यूम मीन्स इट इज मैंडेटरी ऑन द पार्ट ऑन द कोर्ट टू बिलीव दैट थिंग अनलेस एंड अनटिल इट इज डिस्प्रूव्ड. तो कोर्ट शैल प्रिज्यूम कर लेगी दैट ही हैज द इंटेंशन और द नॉलेज टू प्रैक्टिस डिसेप्शन अनलेस कॉन्ट्ररी इज प्रूव्ड. दैट हैज बीन सो प्रोवाइडेड इन 2 clause 4. Counterfeit. A person is said to counterfeit who causes one thing to resemble another thing, intending by means of that resemblance to practice deception, or knowing it to be likely that the deception will be thereby practiced. Explanation 1. It is not essential to counterfeiting that the imitation should be exact. Explanation 2. When a person causes one thing to resemble another thing, and the resemblance is such that a person might be deceived thereby, it shall be presumed that the person so causing the one thing to resemble the other thing intended by means of that resemblance to practice deception, or knew it to be likely that deception would thereby be practiced until the contrary is proved. Now let us understand who is called as court as defined in section 2 clause 5. क्या चेंज लाया गया है? पहले it was court of justice. Term court of justice was used under the old law of Indian Penal Code 1860. Now they have used the term court only. तो court का मतलब judge who is empowered by law to act judicially, or the body of judges who is being empowered to act judicially, that will be called as court. Court means judge who is empowered by law to act judicially, or it is the body of judges who are empowered by law to act judicially. Who are empowered by law to act judicially. Section 2, clause 5. Court means a judge who is empowered by law to act judicially alone, or a body of judges which is empowered by law to act judicially as a body when such judge or body of judges is acting judicially. Section 2 clause 6 provides for the death, क्योंकि death actus reus है for the offense of murder and culpable homicide. तो death का मतलब death of a human being unless contrary intention is there. So 2 clause 6 provides for death, and wherever death has been used, it means death of a human being. Two clause 7 already we have done. Let us understand the term document. Document means any matter which is expressed or described. The term document has been defined under section 2 clause 8. और जब आप कंपेयर करोगे द टर्म डॉक्यूमेंट एज डिफाइंड इन द भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम इन सेक्शन 2 सबसेक्शन 1 क्लॉज डी, तो वहां पे दे हैव पुट 4 चेंजेस, जबकि यहाँ पे दे हैव ओनली इंक्लूडेड 2 थिंग्स, है ना. तो यू नीड टू कंपेयर व्हाट दे हैव पुट. और हम देखेंगे भी इन बीएसए क्लास में अगेन. डॉक्यूमेंट हैज बीन डिफाइंड इन 2 clause 8. डॉक्यूमेंट means any matter which is expressed or described upon any substance. कैसे कर रहे हैं? by means of letters, figures, by means of letter, figures or marks or more of these. मतलब कॉम्बिनेशन है लेटर का, फिगर का, मार्क्स का, या मार्क्स फिगर का, या मार्क्स लेटर का. And why it has been done? That intention is there that to use or may be used as the evidence of that matter. और साथ साथ में ये इंक्लूड कर रहा है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड, जो कि पहले नहीं था. तो डॉक्यूमेंट मीन्स एनी मैटर जिसको हम एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं या डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं किसी सब्सटेंस के ऊपर. सब्सटेंस कुछ भी हो सकता है. इट कुड बी स्मार्ट बोर्ड, वट एवर आई एम राइटिंग हियर. क्या वो डॉक्यूमेंट है? यस. आप जो प्लान बनाते हो, क्या वो डॉक्यूमेंट होता है? व्हेन यू ट्रेवल इन मेट्रो, तो नक्शा बना होता है ब्लू लाइन का, पर्पल लाइन का. इज दैट अ डॉक्यूमेंट? यस. इंस्क्रिप्शन पे जब आप क्वालिफाई कर लोगे प्रोसिक्यूशन ऑफिसर का एग्जाम, तो बड़ी बड़ी नेम प्लेट लगाओगे अपने घर के आगे, अपनी कार में बड़ा बड़ा नेम प्लेट लगाओगे. जुडिशरी के एग्जाम के बाद न्यायाधीश लगवाओगे. इज दैट डॉक्यूमेंट? यस. ये सब इलस्ट्रेशन है ऑफ योर वेयर एक्ट. एंड इंक्लूड्स electronic record and digital record. This they have included. This is newly inserted. NI is newly inserted. ये पहले नहीं था in the older definition of term document under IPC. और इसके पीछे क्या है? Intention है to be used or may be used as evidence of that matter. Power of attorney, check drawn on a banker, map, plan, caricature, ये सब क्या है? डॉक्यूमेंट है. एक्सप्लेनेशन 1 ये कह रहा है कि ये इमैटेरियल है कि किस मैटर पे या किस मीन से हम एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं या डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं. एक्सप्लेनेशन 2 ये कह रहा है कि whatever meaning we take in the ordinary course of parlance of business, the same meaning will be there. For example, अगर एक बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज के पीछे नाम लिखा है, तो that means that a name has been mentioned, that who has drawn that. So it means the instruction says that it is to be paid to the holder. तो जो हम ordinary meaning लेते हैं in the ordinary course of business, the same meaning will be taken if something is written in the document. That is written in explanation number 2. Document means any matter expressed or described upon any substance by means of letter, figures or mark, or more than one of those means, and includes electronic and digital record intended to be used or which may be used as evidence of that matter. Explanation 1. It is immaterial by what means or upon what substance the letter, figures or marks are formed, or whether the evidence is intended for or may be used in a court or not. A writing expressing the terms of the contract which may be used in evidence to the contract is a document. A check upon a banker is a document. और ये सारे illustration they have asked many times कि document है या नहीं है. The power of attorney is a document. A map or plan which is intended to be used, which may be used in evidence, is a document. जब आप जाते हो सड़क पे तो लिखा होता है ना, पटना, दानापुर, हाजीपुर. Is that document? Yes. Writing containing directions or instruction is a document. Explanation 2. Whatever is expressed by means of letters, figures or marks as explained by the mercantile or other uses shall be deemed to be expressed by such letters, figures or marks within the meaning of this section, although the same may not be actually expressed. Illustration: A write his name on the back of the bill of exchange. तो मैंने जो भी example दिया that is in the write only in form of illustration. At the back of the bill of exchange payable to his order, the meaning of the endorsement as explained by the mercantile uses is that the bill is to be paid to the holder. The endorsement is a document and shall be construed in the same manner as if the words pay to the holder or words to that effect had been written over the signature. So this was the term document. Now let us understand कहाँ लिखा है he include she और साथ साथ में transgender will also be included, which is a new term that has been provided in the term gender. He include she that has been provided in the term gender, and this they have asked in interview also. Section 2 clause 10 defines the term gender, which says that it is he, she, male human being, female human being, साथ साथ में transgender. Which is newly inserted, जो पहले नहीं था. So gender में पहले केवल he and she था. It was not the transgender. Transgender has been newly inserted. And who is transgender? That has been provided in section 2K of the protection. Section 2K of the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act of 2019. तो ट्रांसजेंडर है कौन? क्या वो इंसान है whose gender does not match with the gender which has been assigned to him at the time of his birth? Yes, it includes trans women, trans men. It could be such person, हो सकता है उसने सर्जरी कराई हो या ना कराई हो, regarding sex reassignment surgery, hormonal therapy कराई हो या ना कराई हो, resal therapy or any kind of therapy. It could be such person with intersex variation. It could be gender queer और ऐसे person जिससे कि हम social identities है like हिजरा, किन्नर, अरावनी, जोगता, ये सारे लोग will be called as the transgender as defined under section 2K of the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act of 2019. So 2 clause 10 provides that he includes she. It means male human being और female human being दोनों आएगा और साथ साथ में it will be the third gender, that is the transgender, which will be included. Section 2 clause 10 gender. The pronoun he and its derivatives are used of any person whether male or female or transgender. Good faith has been defined in 2 clause 11 क्योंकि good faith is one of the essential element in many of the general defenses. So good faith has been defined under 2 clause 11. Good faith means if any act is done with due care and attention. ये आपसे पूछते हैं कि is it with due care and attention or it is due care and caution? It is due care and attention. So any act which is done with due care and attention, then it is said to be done in good faith, that is with bona fide intention. Section 2 clause 11 good faith. Nothing is said to be done or believed in good faith which is done or believed without due care and attention. Government means central government as well as the state government as provided is 2 clause 12 में. Harboring means we are supplying a person with food, shelter, cloth, arms, ammunition, means of convenience या किसी भी तरह की help whether of the same kind or not in order to evade apprehension. Apprehension मतलब arrest. Then that is called as harboring. तो 2 clause 13 defines the term harbor, and harbor means supply करना a person to food, drink, shelter, arms and ammunition, means of convenience, yeah, any other thing, whether of the same kind or not. Why? To evade apprehension of that person, ताकि वो अपनी अरेस्ट को अवॉइड कर सके. It could be giving that person money also. To clause 13, harbor includes supplying a person with shelter, food, drink, money, clothes, arms, ammunition, or means of convenience, or assisting a person by any means, whether of the same kind as those enumerated in this clause or not, to evade apprehension. So it could be supplying a person with food, or supplying a person with drink, supplying a person with shelter, clothes, arm, ammunition, means of convenience, or other thing of the same kind to evade apprehension. That will be called as the harbor. In such person, it is an inclusive list. Injury term has been defined in 2 clause 14. For many offense like extortion, injury is there. तो injury का मतलब harm caused illegally to a person in his mind, body, property or reputation. क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोगों को बस लगता है इट इज ओनली द बॉडीली हार्म विच इज देयर. नो, इट कुड बी बॉडीली हार्म, मेंटल हार्म भी हो सकता है, या प्रॉपर्टी का हार्म, और रेपुटेशन harm which is caused illegally to the person in his mind, body, property or reputation. Then it is said that injury is being caused. और illegal word हमने समझा है as defined in 2 clause 15 that it could be through offense, यानी ऐसा harm जो कि हमने offense के through दिया है, offense करके, or by something which is prohibited by law, or something which is a civil wrong which furnishes a ground for civil action. To clause 15 already we have understood, illegal and legally bound to do. Judge term has been defined in 2 clause 16. तो judge मतलब ऐसा person who is officially designated as a judge. Term judge has been defined in 2 clause 16. और judge क्या public servant है? Yes. Public servant has been provided under 2 clause 28 of the BNS. और आपसे पूछते हैं by giving in the exam कि क्या एक commissioned officer in the armed forces is a public servant? Yes. Whether college का principal of a government college, is he a public servant? No. We people who are advocate, क्या हम public servant है? No. What about chief minister? Is he a public servant? Yes. What about MLA? क्या वो public servant होता है? No. So they ask you, public servant means that list has been provided in 2 clause 28 में. You go through that list कि such person who is empowered by law कि किसी को confine कर सके. It could be judge or any person जो adjudicatory function निभा रहा है. Armed forces के officers will be called as public servant. It could be the member of panchayat or such person who is assisting the court. It could be the officer of the court including liquidator, receiver and commissioner. It could be such person जिसे केस रेफर किया गया है for decision. It could be arbitrator who is a public servant. It is such person who is empowered by the office which he holds to keep a person in confinement. It could be such person जिसकी ड्यूटी है to prevent offense, to give information of the offense, to bring offender to the justice, to protect public health and safety. It could be such person जिसकी ड्यूटी है as such to keep the property on behalf of the government, to make survey, execute any revenue process. It is such officer who is holding such document for ascertaining the rights of the people of any town, village or district. It could be such person who by the virtue of the office he hold, he has the power to conduct the election, prepare करना, publish करना, maintain करना और revise करना electoral roll को. Such person who is in the service or pay of the government, or such person who is in the service or pay of local authority और corporation के अंदर और government company का. Such person who is being remunerated by fees or commission for performance of his public duty. तो इन सारे लोगों को हम public servant बोलते हैं as has been provided in 2 clause 28. Municipal commissioner is a public servant, that is the illustration of the Barrett. Chief minister is a public servant as held in the case of M. Karunanidhi versus Union of India. कौन कौन से लोग नहीं होते? This list is not exhaustive, लेकिन आपके एग्जाम में पूछा हुआ, that's why I'm telling. MLA is not the public servant. That was laid down in the case of R.S. Nayak versus A.R. Antule में. The member of legislative assembly is not the public servant. Lecturer of a government college is not the public servant. Advocate who practices in the court is also not the public servant. Surveyor of an insurance company, principal of a government college, secretary of the cooperative society, these are not the public servant. So, such person who is officially designated as a judge will be taken as the judge, or who is empowered by law to act in any proceeding, whether it could be civil proceeding or criminal proceeding. तो ऐसा इंसान जो कि empowered है in any proceeding, be it civil or criminal, to give definitive judgment. Or it is the body of judges who is empowered by law in any proceeding to give definitive judgment. Definitive judgment मतलब जो कि confirmed हो गया है by the authority or which has not been appealed against. Section 2 clause 16, judge means a person who is officially designated as a judge and includes a person who is empowered by law to give in any legal proceeding, civil or criminal, a definitive judgment or a judgment which if not appealed against would be definitive, or a judgment which if confirmed by some other authority would be a definitive, or who is one of a body of persons, which body of person is empowered by law to give such a judgment. So any magistrate who has the power with respect to a charge to sentence a person to imprisonment or fine, हो सकता है with or it is without any appeal, that will be taken as judge. लेकिन ऐसा मैजिस्ट्रेट जिसके पास केवल कॉमिटल की पावर होगी, that will not be taken as judge. Section 2 clause 17 provides for life of a human being. इसका मतलब होता है 2 clause 17, life means the life of a human being unless the contrary intention appears from the context. Local law already we have seen 2 clause 18 में means the law which is applicable to particular part of the India, यानी जिसे हम lex loci भी बोलते हैं in Latin. मैन और वुमेन से सवाल आता है कि कौन सी एज के ह्यूमन बीइंग को हम मैन और वुमेन बोलेंगे. तो मैन मीन्स it is human being of any age. Term man has been defined in 2 clause 19 and woman has been defined in 2 clause 35. So man means male human being of any age. and woman means female human being of any age. ये आपसे एज पूछते हैं, क्या ये एनी एज है कि कोई पर्टिकुलर एज है? इट इज एनी एज. Man has been provided in 2 clause 19 and woman has been provided in 2 clause 35. 2 clause 19, man means a human being of any age. 2 clause 35, woman denotes a female human being of any age. Month or year हम लेंगे as per the Gregorian calendar as mentioned in section 2 clause 20. Movable property has been defined in 2 clause 21. क्योंकि कुछ ऐसे ऑफेंसेस हैं जिसमें केवल मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी इज द सब्जेक्ट मैटर. फॉर एग्जांपल थेफ्ट, फॉर एग्जांपल डिसऑनेस्ट मिसअप्रोप्रिएशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. तो मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी मींस प्रॉपर्टी. अर्लियर व्हाट वाज रिटन इन द आईपीसी? इट वाज कॉर्पोरियल प्रॉपर्टी. तो कॉर्पोरियल प्रॉपर्टी का मतलब होता है ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी जिसे हम अपने सेंस ऑर्गन से परसीव कर सकें. नाउ इट कुड बी कॉर्पोरियल के साथ साथ इनकॉर्पोरियल प्रॉपर्टी ऑल्सो, यानी टेंजिबल एज वेल एज द इनटेंजिबल प्रॉपर्टी. तो प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ एवरी डिस्क्रिप्शन अदर देन क्या क्या नहीं आएगा? लैंड, थिंग्स अटैच टू अर्थ, क्योंकि ये सब क्या है? इमोल प्रॉपर्टी. लैंड, things attached to earth, for example trees, buildings, windows and doors which are attached to the wall, ये सब क्या हो जाएंगे? These are attached to earth. और something which is permanently fastened to anything which is attached to earth. तो जो अर्थ से अटैच है उसमें हम परमानेंटली कुछ फासन करते हैं, that will also be the such thing जो कि मूल प्रॉपर्टी नहीं होगा. So section 2 clause 21 is about mool property. Number has been provided in 2 clause 22. Singular includes plural and plural includes singular unless the contrary intention appears. 2 clause 23 is about oath. Offense has been provided in 2 clause 24. It contains, if you see 3 paras are there, clause A and clause B में भी लिखा है. What are those? The offense has been defined in section 2 clause 24. Offense means thing punishable under this Samhita. It means something, if it is not punishable under this Samhita, that will not be taken as the offense. For example, thug. For example, adultery. What is given in clause A and B? Clause A enumerates certain sections. कुछ section number यहाँ लिखे हैं. तो वो टॉपिक जो कवर्ड हो रहे हैं इन सेक्शन में, इफ दे आर ऑफेंस अंडर BNS, or if they are offense under local law, or they are offense under a special law, then they will be taken as offense for the purpose of this Samhita. For example, general explanation, अगर किसी special law में या local law में भी है, then that will be taken as the offense. If you see clause B, तो यहाँ पर भी certain chapters and sections are enumerated. तो जो टॉपिक इसमें कवर्ड हो रहे हैं, if they are punishable in special law or local law with minimum imprisonment of 6 months, कम से कम 6 महीने की imprisonment है, it could be with or without fine, then that will be taken as the offense for the purpose of BNS. Omission already we have seen, single omission or series of omission हो सकता है. Person sorry, which is one of the element of crime. Crime का एक element है person, that has been defined in section 2 clause 26. It could be natural person जिसे nature ने birth दिया है, like me and you, human being, or it could be artificial person. जिसे लॉ ने बर्थ दिया है, जिसे जुरिस्टिक पर्सन बोलते हैं या लीगल पर्सन. इट कुड बी मॉस्क, इट कुड बी गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब, मंदिर में रखी मूर्ति, आइडल इन अ टेम्पल, दीज आर ऑल लीगल पर्सन. इट कुड बी कंपनी, जिसे कंपनी लॉ ने लीगल एंटिटी दिया है. तो पर्सन इंक्लूड ऑल. इट कुड बी द एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन और बॉडी ऑफ पर्सन और कंपनी, वेदर दे आर इनकॉर्पोरेटेड और नॉट, भले वो इनकॉर्पोरेटेड हो या नहीं हो. So it is the natural person as well as the artificial person, both are included in 2 clause 26. Person includes a company, a association of person or body of person, whether included, whether incorporated or not. Section 2 clause 26, person includes any company or association or body of person, whether incorporated or not. Section 2 clause 27 defines the term public. Public includes any class of public or of any community. Public servant का जो मैंने आपको बताया था 2 clause 28 में, that is there. We have read reason to believe 2 clause 29. स्पेशल लॉ भी देख लिया है. अंडर 2 clause 30 वैल्यूएबल सिक्योरिटी का हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड इन 2 clause 31. तो ऐसा डॉक्यूमेंट जिससे कोई लीगल राइट ट्रांसफर हो रही है, क्रिएट हो रही है, एक्सटेंड हो रही है, रिलिंक्विश हो रही है, या एक पर्सन एक्नॉलेज कर रहा है कि ही इज अंडर सम लायबिलिटी और ही एक्नॉलेज दैट ही डज नॉट हैव अ पर्टिकुलर राइट, तो दैट डॉक्यूमेंट को वी कॉल इट एज द वैल्यूएबल सिक्योरिटी. क्योंकि डिलीवरिंग ऑफ वैल्यूएबल सिक्योरिटी कुड बी एन एक्टस रियस फॉर द ऑफेंस ऑफ एक्सटॉर्शन. सेक्शन 2 clause 31 वैल्यूएबल सिक्योरिटी means a document by which legal right is being transferred or it is being created or it is the case जहां पर that right has been extended या हमने रिलीज किया है या that right has been relinquished or a person acknowledges that he is under legal liability. Acknowledges means admitting something. तो एक पर्सन एक्नॉलेजेस कर ले रहा है कि ही डज नॉट हैव अ पर्टिकुलर राइट और ही इज अंडर सम लायबिलिटी. इट कुड बी द केस ऑफ वैल्यूएबल सिक्योरिटी. If a person acknowledges that he is under liability or if he acknowledges that he does not have a particular right. That is the meaning of the term valuable security. Section 2 clause 32 voluntarily. A person is said to cause an effect voluntarily when he caused it by means whereby he intended to cause it or by means which at the time of employing those means he knew or had reason to believe to be likely to cause it. Section this was voluntarily. I correct myself. I'm reading 2 clause 31 valuable security. Valuable security means a document which is or purports to be or document whereby an illegal right is created, extended, transferred, restricted, extinguished or released, or whereby any person acknowledges that he is under legal liability or does not or has not a certain legal right is the valuable security. वैसल का मतलब ऐसी चीज जिसे हम यूज कर दे रहे हैं फॉर द कन्वीनियंस बाय वाटर, बी इट ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग और ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. वॉलंटरली ऑलरेडी वी हैव सीन एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ मेंस रिया. विल मींस एनी टेस्टामेंट्री डॉक्यूमेंट, ये आपसे पूछते हैं इन प्रीलिम्स. सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 34 provides for will means testamentary document. This they ask you in your prelims. 2 clause 34. Will means any testamentary document. Women already we have seen 2 clause 35 में. Wrongful gain and wrongful loss we have understood 2 clause 36 and 2 clause 37. Now let us understand what is gaining wrongfully and what is losing wrongfully. That has been provided under section 2 clause 38 में. So until 38 clause only terms are defined. And as I told you, at least one question you'll be getting from definition and at least one question you'll be getting from basic information. So these two things are must do things for your prelims exam, which I have interpreted for you so that it is easy for you to understand and mark the correct answer. 2 clause 38 defines the term gaining wrongfully. And losing wrongfully. Gaining wrongfully means when a person wrongfully acquires something और साथ साथ में वो retain भी करता है and is there. It is not only acquiring wrongfully. When a person wrongfully acquires something and wrongfully retains that thing, then it is said that wrongful, अगर wrongfully acquire किया किसी चीज को साथ साथ में wrongfully retain भी किया है, then it is said that it is gaining wrongfully. Losing wrongfully means it is wrongfully kept out of the property और साथ साथ में wrongfully deprived of the property. तो and है यहाँ पर. So 2 clause 38 provides for gaining wrongfully and losing wrongfully. Gaining wrongfully means if the person wrongfully acquires as well as wrongfully retains it. If the person wrongfully kept out of the property as well as the deprived of the property, it is said that it is losing wrongfully. Section 2 clause 38, gaining wrongfully and losing wrongfully. A person is said to gain wrongfully when such person retains wrongfully as well as when such person acquires wrongfully. A person is said to lose wrongfully when such person is wrongfully kept out of any property as well as when such person is wrongfully deprived of the property. So with this we are done with the definition clause. Now let us see section 2 clause 39, which is the para materia clause. Para materia clause means material is at par. इसका मतलब BNS के साथ साथ कुछ और भी मटेरियल हमें साथ में रखना पड़ेगा. What are those? क्योंकि यहाँ से they have asked in छत्तीसगढ़ कि para materia clause is there ना under all 3 criminal laws. So they have asked that. BNS को हम किसके साथ पढ़ेंगे, BSA को किसके साथ पढ़ेंगे, एंड व्हाट अबाउट BNS. सो सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 39 सेज दैट कि ऐसे टर्म्स और एक्सप्रेशन जिसका हमने इस्तेमाल तो किया है इन भारतीय न्याय संहिता, बट दे आर नॉट डिफाइंड हेयर, rather they are provided under the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Samhita or they are provided under the Information Technology Act of 2000. To understand the meaning of those terms, we'll be referring BNSs and the IT Act respectively. इसका मतलब BNS is to be read with Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Samhita, which for brevity we call it as the BNSs, and the Information Technology Act. So section 2 clause 39 of the BNS is about perimateria clause, which is a Latin term जिसका मतलब होता है material is at par. It says that ऐसे terms और expressions जिसका हमने इस्तेमाल तो किया है BNS में, but they are not provided here under the BNS. Rather, they has been given under the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita of 2023, which for brevity we call it as the BNSS, or they are given under the Information Technology Act of 2000, which for brevity we call it as the IT Act. To understand meaning of those term and expression, we need to refer BNSS and the IT Act as the case may be. तो क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन निकल के आया कि BNSS और IT Act के साथ will be reading BNS. It means BNS is to be read with BNSS and IT Act. Section 2 clause 39, words and expression used but not defined in this Sanhita but defined in the Information Technology Act of 2000, Act number 21 of 2000 and the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita of 2023 shall have the meanings respectively assigned to them in that Act and Sanhita. So, we are done with whole of the section 2 and we are done with the concept of menstruation also. In next class, we'll be reading some other topic. Thank you for this class. Thank you.